So in the beginning, it was like, wow, we had all this great data, but it became very hard to manage. You know, we were sampling at 1 second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from all these different devices, and it got really overwhelming. So I remember at one point, the spreadsheet was taking longer and longer to open until one day I got, the spinning wheel of death, and it was just completely locked up. So quickly researched other companies, got a quote for $20,000, 1-year timeline, obviously wasn't going to work in that situation. So we found Datamir, which had nice ways to integrate and analyze the data, good visualization tools, and that's exactly what we needed, to see how all of this data was interrelated and how it was correlated. That for us was huge. You can see here some of these correlations. With that, you can see what are the things we can recommend. You can change lifestyle. You can adjust athletes' routines to kind of fine-tune, all of these little things you saw in the video that make the difference between winning and losing when it comes down to photo finish. So an example of one of these insights was related to circadian rhythms. We saw in the data that early morning sun exposure, not just on the skin for vitamin D synthesis, but actually in the eyes, was kind of anchoring biorhythms, and that was related to sleep latency and quality, which improved recovery. So, we recommended this. They had early morning light exposure for a period without sunglasses, in the eyes. And when we got to London, where it was cloudy and overcast, we actually used light box therapy in their rooms in the Olympic Village to ensure that they had the same sleep cycles, along with temperature control and some other things. So that was an interesting use of something new. I mean, light boxes are usually used for depression and SAD therapy, but in this case, we saw the data. There was a benefit of using it even in the absence of depression, right? Because it's not about not being depressed, it's about optimizing human performance. So we got to London, and we had a breakthrough in the semifinal ride, beating heavily favored Australia by 8/100ths of a second.